Everybody remember where we parked.
Can you tell me where the naval base is in Alameda? We're looking for nukes.
Star Trek IV was the first time we were able to get outside and really do some location work. We traveled to San Francisco for about 10 days, as I remember, and we tried to pick the signature places that would tell you you were in this beautiful city of the world. So in Five Corners, where there's 5 streets that come together, we had the Star Trek crew in uniform crossing in a busy street and orchestrating all that traffic. It was just hysterical and a lot of fun.
Action, Leonard!
We just let it go, and it worked fine. There's Spock and a bunch of them, Spock in his robe and a bunch of them in uniforms and various kinds of dress, walking on the streets of San Francisco. And I just got a kick out of the fact that nobody paid him any attention. It was totally acceptable.
Okay.
Hey, why don't you look where you're going, you dumbass?
Well, a double dumbass on you!
There's a scene in the picture where Chekhov and Uhura are asking people where the nuclear vessels are kept, and there's a cutaway to a police officer standing there looking at him. And
Excuse me, sir.
so we had some
can you
extras
direct me
walking
to the
by,
naval-
just kind of, and you can't say anything if you're an extra. Well, a woman was just walking on the way to work or wherever. Walter was stopping people, didn't know that she wasn't an extra, so he said, "Excuse me, do you know where the nuclear vessels are?" She said,
Ooh, I don't know if I know the answer to that. I think it's across the bay, in Alameda.
That's what I said, Alameda. I know
But
that.
where is Alameda?
and she walks off, and so, it was a great take, and it was very real, and then suddenly we realized she wasn't on our crew. She wasn't a paid extra. So someone had to run down and get her and get her signed permission, because then it would end up being right in the movie. So that cracked me up, that, life imitating art.
We had a lot of fun. We did cast the cop, but otherwise we had a van, and we had a long lens inside the van, and just opened the door, sort of stole it, didn't use a permit. And we just thought, what are people going to say when they see these two characters? And some people recognize them, most people didn't.
Nuclear vessels in Alameda. Could you please tell me where those are?
I mean, the dailies were hysterical.
That's not funny. Hello, nuclear vessels in Alameda.
And, we got little snippets of people who, would sort of respond or look funny or give some kind of outrageous response. But it didn't really give us anything, substantive in the movie, but it was fun. Part of the story that involves Uhura and Chekhov getting more power for the ship and going to a nuclear carrier. And the U.S. Navy was very helpful. And we had a blast in, I think it was in San Diego, where we were shooting it for a couple of days. And they're very helpful. You had to be sure that you went through the food line before the Marines did, because they just, completely wiped us out. But they had a lot of fun. It was great. They all got to be on deck. The Marines guard the ship, and so we got to see some of the procedures they don't use very often. When Chekhov is trying to escape, apparently the rule is for a Marine in guarding the ship, it doesn't matter what your classification is, when a Marine calls out something in terms of the security breach, everybody hits the deck, and it doesn't matter what your rank is, they'll flatten you to get to the intruder. So it was kind of fun to see all these guys on the hangar deck.
Tired, yeah.
Yeah,
drop.
Flatten and drop. Leonard had to actually shoot the coverage of all of the tour group at the aquarium. He had to shoot the coverage before he shot the scene. He had to shoot it backwards.
The pieces where Bill Shatner and I come out with the group at first is to first see the humpback whale swimming by. That footage was shot in a set that was created at Paramount. Our set construction people and designers went to the Monterey Aquarium, took photographs and measurements of the railing and the back wall and so forth, and created that section at the tank that we built in the Paramount Studios parking lot in Hollywood.
We tried to identify, you know, and put people in the crowd that would be identifiable later on. A military officer, a nun, somebody with a red hat, you know. We found a bunch of stuff, did that, and then we shipped those extras with us up to Monterey Bay Aquarium when we were there.
Action! Kirk is with the group that's being shepherded around, and that was shot at the Monterey Aquarium. He's reacting to what he sees, which is Spock in the tank, and that shot was done at Industrial Light and Magic when we're on the backs of those people. That was on a soundstage at Industrial Light and Magic, and the whales in that picture, when you first see them, are the whales that footage of the remote-controlled miniatures, blown up real large for the scale. And then when you cut back to Kirk and he's doing this kind of take when he sees this reaction, that Bill Shatner reacting to he's looking at a brick wall. He doesn't see a thing when we shot that footage. We then cut to what you see is me in the tank riding this whale. And that was shot on El Segundo.
Or are they pure communication beyond our comprehension?
Maybe he's singing to that man.
What the hell?
And then he goes rushing off, and she goes rushing off, and when they come upstairs out to the deck landing, you see me putting on my robe. That was shot at the exterior of the aquarium in Monterey. We're all over the place to get pieces of this thing and put them together, and hopefully they would fit.
Nuclear vessels.
I thought was very good.
Great experience.